Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where last episode we expanded the realm a lot, like a way lot. So that happened, and we are now going to need to, well, continue to work on that, but we're truced with this guy. We're not truced with this guy. We could do some de jure lands over here. This wouldn't be very significant, but we could definitely do that. So that's definitely something we might be interested in doing. We could go after this guy, but we're truced to him. We could go after this guy, but we're truced to him. We could go after this guy, and we'd have to go for holy wars for duchies unless we have good claims here. These are all extremely mediocre claims. So that would end up not being what we would end up going for. There's definitely some interesting... These are some terrible kingdoms, actually. This is an interesting kingdom to go for, but... as of right now, I don't want to get borders with the Mongol Empire. So odds are very, very good that we're going to end up just going for like a duchy expansion, something like this. It's small, but that's okay. This is also a little tiny kingdom right here. That's interesting. We probably want to start fabricating a claim on that because we don't have any other way to get in here right now. So we'll get going on that, and then we've got this guy. This guy we can subjugate next life, and that's probably going to be the plan. Now, we do still need to fulfill our oath to shape the realm, and that means that we need to build buildings. So that's easy enough. We can definitely put in wind furnaces here. We can put in something like rotating wind sails here, and then we can put in wind furnaces here. Okay, so that's 3 additional buildings done. Do we see our progress here? Oh, we've already completed it. Okay, sure. Our legacy stands proud. Fantastic. So we gain a bunch of prestige and legitimacy, and that will be absolutely fine. We can ransom off some prisoners, and that will get us some additional money. I'm definitely interested in doing so. So what all do we have down over here? Looks like it is something like that for now, although there may be a few more here. We can demand payments as well. We can modify contracts. I looked at these. Apparently, when you modify contracts, even when using a hook, this is still an act of tyranny, which is kind of wild. So we're just going to demand payments for right now, and that will be fine. This guy's only at 17 out of 100, so I'm not going to demand that payment for now. Okay, so we get a bunch of ransoms here. That gives us some money, and we can get more. So it would be this payment that we would demand, and then we would demand the ransoming down here. Something about like that. Okay, so that looks good for now. Lines about legacy, huh? Yeah, it's truly heartfelt. So that all looks good for now. Oh, the game is paused. I did not intend for the game to be paused at this moment. That all looks good for now. I do want to keep building down over here, of course. And yeah, we'll stop being rivals. That seems fine. Our next move is absolutely to attack this guy. We need to get him under... We need to get him under truce at this moment. So we're going to go for this duchy, and nearby rulers may join the war. I'm not terribly concerned if they do. We'll just raise up our forces right down over here, and in we go. So it's definitely taking us longer to get our forces raising up over here. There's no doubt about that. Sure, we'll take 10 gold. And we're just going to grab this over here. We're going to go after this as soon as we've got a claim, and we'll start making claims throughout here. Ah! The Great Khanate just collapsed. That is a big deal for us. Because now, each of these guys are probably strong enough for us to take. In fact... I actually think we might be the strongest in the world at this moment. These guys are kind of close. This says they're superior to us. I don't actually believe that, although that's a lot of horde riders. So there is that. Probably not actually superior. If we can't actually declare that because our armies are being raised right now, but it's definitely an interesting situation there. I think we're probably the strongest in the world, which is kind of wild, considering how quickly we rose up here. So enemy allies are joining the war. That's absolutely fine. And we're going to just continue to conquer up over here. This will be a very modest conquest at this moment. We just inherited this Dakana, and we don't want to hold this. So that's not going to be held by us. We're going to grant that out. Okay. So up over this direction, we're going to get these sieges completed. That'll get ticking war score on our side once we have this one. And we're at 20% war score as of right now. We see his army there, but that's not in a very good spot for us to go after. It's going to take a long time to get through those mountain provinces, and there's going to be a lot of attrition up there. I'm just going to siege. So this looks good. Well, we could stack wipe this for a little prestige, but honestly, I don't care to. I'll leave them up, and they're fine the way they are. Yeah, we can't throw this lady in jail. We'll just expose her plot. Sounds good. Okay, what do you got here? Serve me well. Fantastic. Okay, so eventually we'll arrive down here. Of course, traveling through these mountains is slow. But we'll get this done. We're at 62% war score at this moment, and our war score is ticking right on up. Okay, he's coming this way. And he is not going to be very successful at this. So we get an unpressed claim on the petty kingdom of Duramden. That is a duchy tier title. That's literally just this one province. We're not going to spend the extra gold. So then we can start working on making claims out over this direction and just push these claims out this way. And we'll attack this guy a little later on. But this guy we'll go after fairly soon. We can't do it while our armies are raised, so we'll have to wait until this war is over. Okay, what is he doing? As I said, it takes us a really long time to move around in these mountains, and I'm not entirely sure what he's doing over here. I guess he's running at our territory, but we've got ticking war score. Like, he can't do this. I mean, sure, he can take this location. It doesn't matter. Okay, where's this cough at? It is... If I could scroll, that would be nice. There we go. It's down over here. That's potentially going to reach us. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Okay, so we're going to fight right up over here. This is going to be a free battle for us. He's going to be way too late in getting here. Way too late. So this battle will go well for us, and we'll get that completed. This will likely end the war. If it doesn't, sieging this back will. Yeah, there we go. So we'll enforce those demands and disband our troops. And this territory up over here, we don't want to hold. But we also don't want to hold this duchy. It's not created. Okay, that's fine. So I'm not going to create the duchy at this time. And down over this way, we do want to get going on building, say, manor houses here. And here we can put in some wind furnaces. That seems fine. Okay, so this ransom is acceptable, and the real question is, how bad is this plague? This is a minor plague. Okay. It's probably going to not spread too much further than this. A schemer? How rude. Yeah, I don't foresee this being too much further. We can appoint a tax collector. There is actually a taxpayer in this jurisdiction, so we'll put this guy in here. He's going to die soon. Oh, wait, that's the same guy. We can put this guy in here. There we go. Okay, so as we were saying, this is probably going to go away very soon and is not probably a significant problem for us. So that looks absolutely fine. And at this point, what I really want to do is I want to come up and attack this guy. So we're going to do that. We're going to declare war on him. He's got absolutely nothing. So we're going to do that. There's no way that he can possibly stop us here. Even with us up in the mountains and him defending, I don't foresee this being a problem. He's actually walking into us. Okay, that's wild. Apparently we have more unusual sexual proclivities. Our men-at-arms did not manage to arrive here in time, but we are winning this due to our defense of this mountain area. So that battle was definitely not ideal, and we're just going to walk directly in here. They're retreating this direction. And we're just going to take this location. And yeah, as we expected, this is not going to be a problem. Let's grab at any cost. That will be absolutely phenomenal. And of course, an unpressed claim on the Takana of Chungthang. Yes, that is this right over here. So next we need to be working over this direction. There we go. We'll finish off this siege. This will likely end the war. Excellent. So we'll enforce our demands and disband our troops. Perfect. We don't want to hold this ourselves, so we'll grant that out. Okay, so now we're truced with virtually everyone on our borders. We no longer care about maintaining no borders with the Mongols. It's absolutely fine. We can beat the Red Horde. That's not an issue. So at this point, nothing to be done here. We can go after this guy. This would just be these de jure lands, and that's understood. I want to look at our borders pushing into these other empires. Okay. We've got a ways to go on those, that's for sure. So that's understood. I think our plan next is absolutely we attack this guy for these two de jure. That's all there is to it. We're going to definitely be seeing a lot less expansion here very, very soon. So our expansion is slowing. We've eaten up everybody that we can super quickly, but there will be more. Next life, we'll have access to another kingdom-level holy war, and we'll have access to another subjugation war. So that's going to be absolutely huge. We're going to grab here, and he's running down this direction. Not like this matters. Okay, there's another plague. This one's probably not near us. Yeah, up over there. That's fine. All looks good. So this siege is over. We're going to walk in over here. I'm keeping an eye on his siege here. This is going to take him a long time. I think we can grab this siege and walk up here, possibly before he even gets that. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, now we're going to walk up over this direction. And he is not going to like this battle. But we have ticking war score on our side now. This battle is probably not going to end the war. But it might. It's theoretically possible. He's personally leading that. We could always capture him. You never can tell. We do have a faction, and that's not surprising given our rapid pace of expansion. Okay, we did not stack wipe him there, so we're only at 46%. We're going to walk in here and siege. So we need a new tax collector up over here. This is not necessarily surprising. We'll put in this guy. It'll be fine. And then we've got this dangerous faction. This is an independence faction, and this is very unsurprising. Although it is a bit surprising that this guy is this powerful. Ah. This is the guy that we subjugated. He was previously an emperor. I kind of want to let him rebel. Yes. Reason being, we can strip some of these kingdom titles from him and shrink down his kingdom. So I'm going to let him rebel here. We're going to walk in, finish off this war, and we're not going to take any action whatsoever on this. We're going to let that happen. Okay, we're at 64% war score now. Let's head on down here and grab this. We'll see what that puts us at. That is 65 now with ticking. Okay, 82. Sounds good. We'll hop up over here, and that could actually end the war. So we're continuing to press our claims, or not press our claims. We're continuing to fabricate our claims up over this way. And for now, that seems fine. We want to press those claims before we die, if we have any warning whatsoever that we're going to die. Okay, I want to come up and fight this guy if we can. Looks like we can. We just got this Thakana, and we do not want to have that Thakana. That's for sure. So we need to hand this out. There we go. And now we have a dynasty legacy, and we're going to take private armies. So that gives us a max number of men-at-arms regiments +1, and we can now recruit house guards. Now, I don't want to recruit house guards. They're bad, in my opinion. But the war's over, and let's go ahead and enforce these demands. Okay, so we have the private army dynasty legacy, and that's absolutely understood. Now, we need to come down here and grant out these locations. We don't want to hold them. And now, the important thing here is we have access to more men-at-arms. Specifically, up to 9 units of men-at-arms. So one of these is likely going to have to be unstationed, and then we'll station one in Kyle, and that's... It could be elephants. It could be. Do we have a reason to go for anything other than elephants? I mean, elephants are expensive. That's for sure. This is already set up to be ideal for elephants. So I think I'm just going to create another unit of war elephant here. Like, I feel like we're getting a little war elephant heavy, but we're probably not going to get any other men-at-arms. So this is probably fine. So the bombards here are going to be unstationed, right? Yeah, these bombards are unstationed. And for the moment, that's fine. Once we get 9 domain limit, then we'll put them here, which is where they're intended to go. So that'll be absolutely fine. Down here in Kyle, I definitely want to get this elephantry building. And in Korkai, we can work on a wind furnace. That's quite expensive. In Madurai, there's not really anything I want to do right now. I want to work on a wind furnace over here. And again, that's quite expensive. We can sell trivial titles, which we shall do. And that means that in our capital, we can upgrade these wind furnaces. So that seems great. And then up in Calicut, we can upgrade these wind furnaces as well. Let's see what the second half of our sell titles is. Unfortunate. We didn't get extra gold. Sad. Okay, so at this moment, do we care about this bow? Do we have this equipped? No. We don't care. Okay, so that seems fine for now. We can definitely equip this regalia or this regalia. And then we don't have a crown at this moment. Okay, this ransom is acceptable, and this ransom is also acceptable. So at this moment, what are we doing? Well, we're just kind of letting this independence faction brew up. Now, we also have some populists here. And they're going to send their ultimatum in 3 months. Okay, we've also got some peasant rabble. So clearly we should chill and not get embroiled in additional wars at this moment. That's absolutely fine. We'll get these taken care of as they pop. So for the moment, we're not looking to expand the realm other than fabricating some claims up over this direction to work our way through here. So that seems fine for now. And we can start fabricating claims over here as well. It's going to be a bit tougher for us to make our way in because we can't holy war. So that's all understood. We get additional buildings constructed down this direction. And in our capital, I want to go with wind furnaces. Excellent. This ransom is acceptable. And up in Calicut, we want to go with something. I don't know what yet. We'll see what we have available. Okay. Yeah, these ransoms are all acceptable. What other ransoms can we do? We can demand payment from our son, which is fine. He apparently has 40 gold. I don't know where he got that. But this is all absolutely okay. There we go. This is where I want to be. Why are we raising our forces? Let's not. Okay. Hotkeys are weird when the screen is moving around like that. Okay, so here's the Maturidi populists. So they've declared war, and we need to see who all is in this rebellion. Oh, that's not bad at all. Okay, so the leader is this guy up over here. Noted. We'll raise up our forces here, and we're going to go in right over this direction as soon as we arrive. This is not going to go well for them at all, for the record. This is going to go very poorly. But we need to get it done, ideally before this independence faction fires. And there's a Liberty faction here as well, and a Peasant Rabble faction. So we're going to have our hands full for a little bit here. Okay, so let's go take care of this populist army here. I see that their leader is out over here. That's fine. Okay, so the war goal is some of these points. That's understood. We're going to walk down over this direction and fight their primary army down over here. Because we'd like to capture their leader. That's the dream at this moment. So our allies are running around. That seems neat, but we're moving a lot more slowly than these guys are, unfortunately. I think that was mostly because we were moving through woods at the time. So it looks like they're all piling in down here, and that's a long chase. That's a very long chase for us. Sad. But we're on our way. And, okay, so a peasant's lot is to serve their lord. Here's the peasant faction. This is unsurprising. We'll extort our subjects. And don't worry, we'll have everyone pay. No, we won't. Consider it an extra test of loyalty. I don't want to spend the legitimacy at this moment. So we're going to head on down here. And they're kind of leaving their... Both of these are commanded by ruler? Okay, well, this is the leader of the revolt, so that seems fine. Now, there's a peasant revolt around somewhere. I don't know exactly where that is. And here's the independence demand. We will not be threatened. Okay, so all of these are happening at once. I had hoped to crush these in order before the others came in, but this is fine. So this war is over. We'll enforce those demands. And now we need to figure out where the peasants are. Oh, over here. Okay. Let's just go over here. That'll be fine. Those funds are meant for me, right? Yes. Yes, they are. Okay, so we're going to head over this direction. It'll take us 4 months to get there, and then we'll sail around and we'll deal with this guy. So that's going to be its own thing, and we'll do that soon enough. But these other wars, nice and easy to deal with, and that seems good. I want to get this tax office upgraded here, and over this direction, I definitely want to get a wind furnace upgrade, and over here, this would be a goldsmithy upgrade. That seems fine. Okay, we'll throw this guy in jail. Perfect. So at this point, we just need to come down and crush these guys. They are making progress on this, but only just. This guy made a claim on the Bengal Empire. Very rude of him. Not that he can actually push that. Okay, so this guy is up here sieging stuff, and that is understood. We will have to deal with him. I believe ticking war score is currently in his advantage at this moment because, yeah, he controls the war target, and we have to contest that war target. So that's absolutely understood. We need to get up there fairly quickly. So we're going to get embarked here, go over, deal with these guys, and then we're going to sail up and deal with this guy. That's the idea. So this is going to be very quick. There we go. This rebellion is over. And we're going to re-embark, and I want to disembark out over this direction. So we have a little bit of time to walk up here. Now, he's going to make a little progress on us, and that's understood. We can see that his core territory is this up here, and that's where we need to get. Yes, see this done. And we're going to continue to work on fabricating claims up over this direction. Okay, so off we go. The realm must be consolidated. And of course, we also need to bump up these elephants, which we can work towards. So that seems fine. There's also a disease somewhat nearby. This is a... Yeah, this is a major. It's probably going to get to our territory. We'll see. Okay, so he managed to finish this siege, which is not surprising. He chose a good time to declare this war, no doubt about that. We were somewhat distracted, but now we're on our way. And he's going to have a very hard time stopping this army, but we have no commander here. Let's have a commander. That would be a useful thing indeed. And we're going to walk up this direction. The game thinks we will lose this, and it may be right about that. I want to wait until the recently disembarked is gone. That's another 11 days. So we'll arrive here in 10 days. By the time we arrive here, that recently disembarked will be gone. So that's perfect. We're going to walk up over this direction. We're no longer recently disembarked. And the real question is, will we actually lose this? I don't know. We'll find out. Well, actually, no, we won't. He's running away. And that indicates that he thinks that he's going to lose. Otherwise, he'd be trying to fight us. He's trying to group up with these guys up here. We need to siege this back. There we go. And we need to start moving in this direction. Okay. We'd like to resupply our troops, but I don't think we have time. We need to push up this way next, because we need to get up to his capital. We're just going to go up the coastline. That's the goal here. So supply limits are low, no doubt about that, and we're going to be taking pretty heavy attrition as we go through this. That is absolutely understood. I do want to put more of these elephants in here. There we go. And he ran away quite far. So that's certainly noted. He is very concerned about this then. So we need to get ticking war score back on our side, and that of course means we need to take some of his core territory. He's currently trying to resupply, which does give us some time to get this done. We're at 6%, and ticking is currently 22, so that's about to flip. Yeah, you can see here, he no longer controls any ticking war score. We have to control all of this territory for ticking war score, and that's not going to happen. But this is absolute... Wait. Any territory. Cool. So we just got a claim on all of Bumthang up over here, and that is absolutely fine. How much is that? Okay, that's all of this. So we need to be working on fabricating a claim out over here then. Cool. So we're taking his capital right now. This could theoretically end the war. We'll see. And it did. Fantastic. We captured his daughter and heir. So we'll enforce those demands and disband our troops. We are now no longer at war. Okay. So that's very good. That'll allow us to recharge our men-at-arms, which is a very good thing. We need to revoke a title from this guy, and the title that we need to revoke is definitely going to be a kingdom tier title. So I'm going to take the kingdom of Gondwana from him at this moment. And that'll be fine. That kingdom can be held by us. What other kingdom titles can we revoke from him? I think at this point we'd have tyranny and legitimacy loss. But I'm still going to revoke the kingdom of Bengal, despite the legitimacy loss. Okay, I'm not going to revoke any others, but he is now substantially weakened. So we're at 10 of 8, and what do we hold? We need to check through up over this direction. It's these. Okay. So these can be granted out. That seems fine. We do have a perk available. We're going to take Avaricious. And we need a tax collector here. That'll be this guy. That's the same guy. That'll be this guy. And then this guy. Okay. So that seems fine. And this ransom is acceptable. That seems okay. I'm not going to retract any of the other titles from this guy, but he is substantially weakened by those two removed. Not as much as we'd like, but it'll be enough for now. We'll continue to weaken him going forward. We have too many held duchies, and we don't want to hold this duchy, so we're going to grant that out to this fine gentleman right here. I don't even know what the de jure is, but we don't want to hold that. Okay, looks good. Now, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to probably grant some vassals to rightful liege and maybe think about going to war up over this way now that we have gotten the realm fairly under control. But we also might just think about chilling and doing a little bit of investment for a little bit here. We'll see. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Spock, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.